They called it the fortune cat. A white, scruffy stray with one torn ear and golden eyes that almost glowed at night. No one knew where it came from. It showed up behind the fish market when the rain started 2 weeks ago. Always alone, always watching. Some said if you fed it, luck would follow you. Others just kicked it away, called it a pest. But the cat didn't seem to care. It walked slow, like it had nowhere to be. And maybe it didn't, because when you have no name, no collar, and no one waiting, the streets become your only home. And on that cold, rainy afternoon, as water dripped from broken roofs and the sky hung gray, the cat sat under a rusted cart, shivering. Its fur was soaked. The fish vendors had packed up early. No scraps today. Just puddles, cold wind, and silence. That's when Eli showed up. Old, thin, bent over like the weight of the years was pulling him down. His shoes had holes. His coat was 3 sizes too big and smelled like rain and cigarettes. Eli didn't beg like the others. He just sat in the corner, a tin can in one hand and a little sardine tin in the other. Dinner for the night. He noticed the cat watching him. No begging, no sound, just staring. Still as a statue. Eli opened the tin. One sardine. He looked at it, then at the cat. "You hungry too?" he asked softly. The cat didn't move. Eli sighed. "It's just one, but I've had worse days." He broke the sardine in half, slid one piece on the ground. The cat didn't come at first. It waited, watched, then slowly stepped forward. The moment. Its paw touched the sardine. Something shifted. Eli felt it. The wind slowed. The street quieted. It was like the world gave them both a second of peace. Just 1 second. But sometimes 1 second is all you need to start something. After that, the cat came every day. Never close. Never far. Just near. Eli started saving scraps. A bit of rice, a crust of bread, some fish bones. And every time he fed it, he'd talk. "Didn't see you yesterday," he'd mumble. "Thought you left me." Or, "I don't have much today, but I'll share it." The cat never answered, but it stayed. And somehow, that meant everything. People started whispering again. A tourist dropped a $20 bill in Eli's cup. A bakery owner gave him warm bread one morning. His coat got replaced with a better one someone left on a bench. They said the fortune cat had chosen him. But not everyone liked it. The market. Enforcer, a bulky man with a red face named Jeb, didn't care for stories. He hated strays, hated beggars even more. One morning, Jeb stomped toward Eli, pointing. "This ain't your porch, and that filthy cat better be gone too." Eli looked up, calm. "We ain't bothering no one." Jeb sneered. "You bring rats, trash. That thing's a disease." The cat stood still, unblinking, behind Eli. Eli reached into his coat, pulled out a crust, broke it, set it down. "She's cleaner than most folks I've met." Jeb kicked the crust away. The cat jumped back. "Next time I see it, I'm calling animal control," Jeb warned. "And you, find another corner, old man." He stormed off. That night, the cat didn't come. Rain fell harder. Eli waited under the cart, sardine tin untouched beside him. He whispered, "You okay, girl?" Silence. The world felt empty again. But just before midnight, soft paws tapped the wet ground. Golden eyes peeked from the dark. The cat was back, shivering, wet, but back. Eli smiled, eyes watering. "I knew you'd come." They didn't talk much after that, just sat together. One man, one stray. 2 lost souls who had nothing, except each other. The rain had stopped by morning. The ground was still wet, but the sky looked brighter. The cat showed up like always, slipping through the alley, her paws light and silent. Eli was already waiting on his crate, half a piece of toast in his hand, and a gentle smile in his eyes. "There she is," he whispered, as if she might vanish if he spoke too loud. "Didn't think you'd leave me hangin'." The cat didn't rush, but she came close, closer than usual. Eli broke the toast in half, gave her the bigger piece. That's how it always went. He barely ate. She always did. Days turned into weeks. People began to notice them. A couple of vendors would glance over and shake their heads. But others? They started leaving scraps near Eli's crate. A girl from the sandwich shop dropped off soup one evening, muttering, "For both of you." She never stayed to chat, and the weirdest thing? Eli's luck started to change. One afternoon, a man in a suit walked by, dropped his wallet right in front of Eli. Cash inside, credit cards. Eli picked it up, flagged the guy down, handed it back without a second thought. "Thanks, friend," the man said, and pulled out a 20. "For your honesty." The cat was sitting next to Eli when it happened. Later that week, a tourist with a camera asked if he could take their photo. He liked the way the cat sat on Eli's lap like they were best friends. "You two look like something out of a storybook," the tourist said, smiling. He handed Eli a crisp $50 bill before walking off. The whispers started again. "It's the cat," they said. "That stray brings fortune." A few days after that, someone left a clean pair of boots beside Eli's crate. His old ones. "Had holes the size of coins. Guess they think you're some magic thing," Eli said, scratching behind the cat's ear. "But I know. You're just good company." But not everyone liked the attention. Jeb, the market enforcer, kept his eye on them. He'd walk past slow, boots heavy on the pavement, arms crossed like he was carrying anger on his back. One day, Jeb stopped right in front of them. The cat stiffened. "I don't like what's happening here," Jeb growled. "People gathering, making up stories." Eli didn't look up. "We ain't hurting nobody." "You're making this alley soft," Jeb snapped. "This ain't a circus. It's a business." Eli finally looked him in the eye. "Then let people be. Ain't nothing wrong with kindness." Jeb didn't answer, just stared, then turned and walked off. The air felt colder after he left. That night, it rained again. Harder than before. The alley filled with puddles. The wind howled between the buildings. The cat arrived, late and soaked, her fur heavy with water. But Eli wasn't there. His crate sat empty. His tin can lay on its side. The sardine tin was still sealed. The boots were gone. The cat waited. An hour passed, then 2. She curled up beneath the cart, eyes wide, ears twitching with every sound. Morning came. No Eli. By noon, the cat was pacing, nose low to the ground. She sniffed the sidewalk, checked every usual spot, the bench near the bakery, the alley behind the soup shop, the warm pipe near the generator. Nothing. She returned to the crate that night. Still empty. The rain had stopped again, but the ground was colder. No one knew where Eli went. Some thought he'd gotten sick. Others whispered Jeb might have chased him off for good. But the cat stayed. Every evening she came back. She'd sit in the same place where he used to feed her, eyes locked on the shadows, ears twitching at every footstep. People noticed. A few dropped scraps, but she never touched them. She just waited, and when the rain returned 2 nights later, pouring down hard, she didn't run. She sat there, soaked, still, and silent, like she was guarding a secret only she understood. Something was wrong. Something terrible had happened, and the fortune cat knew it. She didn't leave the crate the whole night. The cat sat still, soaked in rain, staring into the dark alley, waiting for footsteps, for his voice, for anything, but Eli didn't come. By morning, her body was shaking from cold, but she stood. Her paws were slow, unsure, but her nose was working, sniffing, searching. She started walking, out of the alley, past the fish stalls, down streets she'd never walked before. She meowed, once, then again. Quiet, broken cries. Nobody looked. Or if they did, they just kept walking. People don't stop for stray cats. She turned into side streets, behind dumpsters, under broken fences. She sniffed old jackets, crates, piles of rags that weren't him. No sign, no scent. By midday, she'd wandered so far she couldn't smell fish anymore. Just the city. Smoke, cold wind, and still, she cried. Outside a hospital, the cat crouched behind a trash can. Her fur was dirty, her eyes wide and desperate. Nurses and visitors passed by without noticing. Except one. Rosa was 15, her hoodie was too big, and her backpack was half open. She was waiting for her mom to finish her shift inside. That's when she heard it, a soft, rasping meow. She turned. The cat was staring at her, wet, filthy, tired. "Hey," Rosa said gently, crouching. "You lost?" The cat took one step, then looked back toward the alley beside the hospital. Rosa hesitated, then followed. The cat walked slow, glancing back every few feet. The alley was narrow, filled with broken boxes and old crates. A rusted bench sat at the end. That's where he was, Eli. His body was slumped on the bench, curled up, coat pulled tight. His hands were blue, his eyes closed. He looked more like a shadow than a man. Rosa gasped. "Oh my God." She ran to him. "Sir? Sir, can you hear me?" No answer. She fumbled for her phone, fingers shaking. "There's a man, behind the hospital. I think he's freezing. Please, hurry." The cat didn't meow. She just sat on the ground beside the bench, her head resting against Eli's boot. Minutes later, hospital staff rushed in with blankets and a stretcher. Rosa stood back, biting her lip, watching. "He's alive," one nurse said. "Barely. Hypothermia." They lifted him carefully. The cat moved just in time, her eyes fixed on the stretcher as they wheeled him away. Rosa knelt down. "Is he yours?" The cat didn't move. Inside, they wouldn't let her follow. Animals weren't allowed, not even this one. So she waited. Every day, the cat returned to the hospital doors. She sat just outside the sliding glass. Rain or shine, people came and went. Some looked. Some smiled. A few even left food. She never touched it. She waited. Inside, Eli was still unconscious. Rosa visited every afternoon after school. She started asking around. One of the nurses remembered seeing the man downtown. Said he used to sit with a cat. "It's her," Rosa whispered. She led me to him. People started to talk. A story began to grow. The security guard told it to the front desk clerk. The front desk clerk told the coffee cart lady. By the end of the week, a local journalist came by to take a picture. "The cat who wouldn't leave," the article read. Donations started coming in. A new coat. Food. Shoes. Even a soft blanket was left outside for the cat. But she didn't care. She stayed in the same spot, pressed up against the door, watching every person that walked out, hoping one of them was him. One night, Rosa sat beside her. The hospital lights were soft, glowing through the glass. "Your friend's still in there," she whispered. "But he's fighting. I think, because he knows you're waiting." The cat blinked slowly. Inside, Eli opened his eyes for the first time. He was weak, couldn't speak, but he moved his hand, searching for something. The nurse smiled. "He's awake." But outside, she still didn't know. She waited. She always waited. Because some bonds don't break. Even when the world forgets. Even when doors stay shut. Even when everything seems lost. The fortune cat wasn't looking for food. Or shelter. Or even kindness. She was looking for him. Eli opened his eyes slowly. Everything was blurry, cold, bright, beeping sounds. A mask over his face. He tried to speak but couldn't. He reached out weakly, like he was searching for something that wasn't there. "She's not gone," the nurse whispered, noticing. "She's waiting outside. Every day." It had been 3 days since Rosa found him. 3 days of machines, tubes, and quiet hope. The doctors couldn't explain it. Eli had been close to freezing, with barely a heartbeat. But somehow, he held on. The staff kept talking about the cat. The white stray who sat at the door every morning and didn't leave until night. "She comes back at the same time," one nurse said. "She won't eat," another added. "She's waiting for him," Rosa whispered. By the 5th day, Eli was stronger. He could speak a little. His first words were quiet. "Where's she?" The nurse smiled. "Still outside. Want to see her?" He nodded. They wheeled him to the glass doors in a chair, wrapped in blankets. The sun had just come out, lighting the wet ground. The cat was there. She stood up slowly when she saw him, tail twitching, ears high. Her golden eyes locked on his. Eli's lips shook. I thought I lost you. The hospital made an exception. Just once. They opened the doors. The cat walked straight to him. Not fast, not slow, just right. She nuzzled his leg and purred, louder than ever before. Tears filled his eyes. You waited. All this time. The nurses stepped back. Everyone, watching, was silent. You stayed, he whispered. You saved me. Later that night, a nurse named Clara came to his room. She had warm eyes and a soft voice. You don't have anywhere to go, do you? Eli looked down. Not really. She smiled gently. I've got a small spare room. It's not much, but it's warm and quiet. You'll have your own bed, both of you. Eli's eyes widened. You mean together? She nodded. She's family now, isn't she? That night they left the hospital together. Rosa waved goodbye. The cat curled up beside Eli in the back seat of Clara's car, resting her head on his arm like she belonged there. The next morning, a news van showed up outside the hospital. Someone had shared the story. The headline read, "The Fortune Cat." And the man with nothing. The photo showed the cat at the hospital door, sitting still in the rain. The story spread fast. Donations came in. Food, clothes, vet care, even letters. People were moved. Strangers from other cities sent money for Eli and the cat. Clara set up a small fund for him. The hospital helped too. A week later, Eli had his own room in Clara's house. A warm bed, a small desk, fresh socks. The cat had a cushion under the window, 2 bowls, and a tiny collar with one word on it. Hope. That's the name Rosa had picked. She never gave up. Rosa said, "So, Hope." Eli smiled every time he said it. Hope. That's her. They went for walks together, slow, peaceful ones. Eli always kept a pocket full of snacks, one for him, one for her. Sometimes people would stop them. Is that the Fortune Cat? Eli would laugh. No, she's just Hope now, but she gave me everything. And she did. She gave him reason. She gave him a friend. And most of all, she gave him home.